Welcome to the journey of soul evolution, compound interest. And a lot of my friends ask me, yo Jordan, what is compound interest? Well, today I'm here to give it to you on my terms and my definition. Compound interest is a frequency. And if you retain this frequency by multiplying 1% better to your everyday life, this frequency will begin to stabilize itself. Once this frequency begins to stabilize itself, it will turn into a vibration. From this particular vibration, by multiplying 1% better to your everyday life, you will begin to start manifesting opportunities into your life of your desired reality and reach your goals over a course of time. As you can see, we started right here, we got 1% better. Not every day is gonna be your best day. Some days you might go up, some days you might go down. But the most important part is that you have a baseline, you have a system, and you develop habits that you can always fall onto. And that's why I'm here today, to show you who I am versus who I am becoming. In order for you to tap into this particular frequency, you must develop a mindset. That is very key into your everyday life, is your mindset. Like I said, who I am today versus who I am becoming. And if you know what particular mindset I'm referring to, please drop a comment below. The mindset I'm referring to today is 1% better each day. But above all the mindsets, above all the systems I'm going to show you, my personal techniques, what matters most is you, right? If you don't have the faith, the confidence, and the belief to do what you want to accomplish, the mindset, the 1% better each day, the compound effect means nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you guys from my own personal experience, I've used this mindset not only to manifest great opportunities in my life where I had the opportunity to cut Burna Boy, Tory Lanez, Roy Woods, YK Osiris, Hollywood actors. I've also used this mindset to apply to my life and get rid of my destructive ways. All right? I'm talking about doing cocaine, partying. Yeah, I even quit smoking weed. I just never told nobody yet. So yeah, I took that same step and applied it to my everyday life. And now I'm here actually educating you guys on 1% better each day. What is the most important part of 1% better each day is, especially me coming off of drugs, sex, alcohol abuse, I didn't need no additional help. I didn't need to go to rehab. I didn't need to do nothing. All I had to do is apply myself 1% better each day. That's how these small increment improvements really help your life. And we're not talking about massive leaps. We're talking about just getting 1% better until we hit that effect. Yeah, that was good.
Mm.
I felt more confident.
Yeah. And once you get in the zone, you're in it.
Yeah. Holy fuck, man. And one thing I had to ask myself as I got older is how would my life be if I were to apply myself 1% better each day? And that was very key on my mindset as I got older, because I'm 36, I'm gonna be 40 soon. I do not want to be doing the same thing at 40 when I'm 36. So one of the key things in my system is called Keystone Identity. Who I am today versus who I am becoming. And you must identify with yourself and be truthful with yourself, because God knows if you're gonna lie to yourself. So you can't be like, I'm lazy, but I want to be fit. Those two don't work out together. You have to apply yourself 1% better each day. That's why it's key to figure out what identity you want to project and who you want to see yourself in the mirror every day, and really stand on who I am becoming, not who I am today, right? That's very important. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm going to the gym. I'm not gonna expect results of going to the gym. I'm not going to the gym. One of the main parts of the Keystone Identity is identifying who the fuck you are, bro. Compound interest, right? So we go identity, behavior, results, right? Identify who I am becoming and what type of behavior is that version of you that you want to become. What does that person do? How does that person act? What does that person do when they wake up? Do they flip through their phone, or do they go up, or they go upstairs, brush their teeth, and really focus on their becoming? So having good behavior traits that reflect on who I am becoming leads to the results that we are looking for, not only from ourselves, but from the universe, because everything is reflected from the inside out. Nothing can happen in life until you tune yourself to a particular frequency and have that frequency begin to stabilize, and then create the opportunities in our life where we can reach our goals, our results. Compound interest. Yeah. So with the Keystone Identity, and it goes to like a lot of things in life, is people really identify, especially in the Western world, is with material items, which is actually like they make Louis Vuitton, Jordan, all these type of things their identity. But like material items is not an identity. What material items give you is a feeling. And as you know, most people, when they buy material items, they feel good for how long? 30 minutes, 1 hour, I don't know, maybe 1 week. But after that feeling has gone, what usually happens? You go back to the store, you're purchasing more and more material items. The point of I'm trying to bring across to you and my audience is we're gonna create this feeling from the inside so it reflects on the outside. Because the two, if you didn't know, are totally connected. Your inner state of being, so my inner state, if I'm feeling good, usually the universe is gonna reflect good results. As if you haven't noticed, if you're really stressed out in life, usually the universe magnifies that stress in other ways into your life. That's why it's important to create this feeling of confidence within, love within. So when we don't have material items, we're not lost, all right? That's very important, because a lot of times you can go on social media, you see what little baby got, and you feel like, oh, I'm trying to get that to like emulate that person. You don't have to emulate that person. You need to become, you don't even need to become. You need to be that person before the universe proves it to you. Compound interest. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for all attending the first class of compound interest. I hope you guys all enjoyed the days and nights I spent figuring out my goddamn self in this universe. Because trust me, it hasn't been easy. It's been very hard. I spent a lot of nights crying, bro. You know, suffering in my own thoughts. And if you feel like you need some type of guidance, maybe this is the guidance you're looking for, right? Because like I said, I had a 17-year cocaine addiction. And there's been times where my mom picked me up when I was laying in my bed for 7 days. And she's like, Jordan, let's go. And I didn't really have no confidence. But it's not like I didn't know what I wanted. I just didn't know where to start. I didn't have no baseline. I didn't have no structure. I didn't have no habits. And now I'm able to fall always on this baseline. Oh man. Sorry about that. I always have a baseline from a point of reference. All right. So if I wake up, since I have my system in place, nothing is ever too out of the loop. I always know what I'm going to do every day. All right. And that's very key, to have your mind, your body, and your soul in a particular system, a particular frequency that can solidify yourself into a vibration. And now you can have the universe present opportunities into your life where, yeah, we're gonna hit our goals and compound. Welcome to the journey of soul evolution. And class is concluded for today. Compound interest.